Hello, I'm Courtney from Enchanted Eco, and I'm actually an artist trying to make it, but I really am passionate about a lot of things, and I wanted to start a YouTube to talk about them more in depth. And this one's going to be about something that I actually talked about in my first video. This is my second video ever, so welcome. And it's going to be about the quantum healing hypnosis technique, what it is, how it's used, why it's used, what it's used for, the benefits of it, which include exploring past lives and connecting to your higher self or God or source. So if you're here, you should just click subscribe to be nice, because I have literally no subscribers right now. I am my own subscriber. So anyways, let's start this. So the quantum healing hypnosis technique is actually created by Dolores Cannon. She is an amazing person. If you don't know who she is, you should totally look into it. And a lot of this information is coming from her knowledge and her studying and her finding and her research. Her technique is used for exploring past lives and connecting to higher consciousness like God, like I said. But it can be used in so many different ways for answers and healing. That's like an umbrella. So now let's dive a little bit deeper into that. The hypnosis happens by inducing the individual into a somnambulistic state. It's a state of trance through visualization. And I'll get into that later in how exactly that works, what it is. It's basically like sleepwalking. You're right in between consciousness. We actually experience it twice a day, right before we fall asleep and right before we wake up. We are more than just a physical body. We are humans, but what we truly are is our soul. Our soul is us. And through hypnosis, this healing process, you can find a lot of answers to different things, such as what your life purpose is, what you're here for. You can heal traumas. You can even relive deaths to find out many different things. But this is a healing process. You don't just immediately start giving a baby a 3-course meal. No, you start with bottles and then blah, blah, blah. I don't really know. I don't have a baby, but I know you don't just feed him a 3-course meal. You do it gradually. You can't jump from kindergarten to college. If you fail a class, you retake it with no judgment until you learn and you move on. Like us drawing the same circumstances into our lives over and over and over because we aren't learning our lesson. If we realize we're repeating it over and over, then we can begin to change. This can even be over multiple lives because we have an eternity for these things to happen, an eternity to learn and bring clarity. Nobody knew much about reincarnation in the 60s, and metaphysics weren't even really heard of, let alone the New Age thought. And I do know that it's very hard to hear these things, and it's very hard to want to believe or understand when you just have never heard about it and it's something completely new. That's because this is a process that takes a lot of research, learning, and challenging of our beliefs. Once you accept these challenges, you can learn and then accept harder challenges and move through them even more swiftly. It takes years. It's never over. You have no idea how powerful your mind is. That being said, let's get back to the somnambulistic state and what that exactly is. Like you're in a dissociated consciousness stance, but you have motor capabilities and motor skills. You can talk, you can walk. This would also be sleepwalking. In this state, you're still interactive, but you're pretty much asleep. So that also means that you will respond well, unobjectively, and completely unbiased to anything that you're confronted with or asked. Now, why is hypnosis used? If you haven't come to the conclusion yet, it can pretty much provide direction for your life if you're on a healing path. It can provide support for moving forward in alignment with our life's purpose and our path, our destiny, if you will. You're basically communicating with yourself because your soul is inside your subconscious mind, and this is what's coming out whenever you are in the somnambulistic state. Your subconscious mind is a gateway to many layers of infinite dimensions and consciousness, basically, including the eternal that will stick with your soul forever. No matter your body or your form, it can also provide comfort and relief for very stressful things that have happened in your life, and you could get some answers to burning questions that you never thought you would understand. Now let's get into things that can be asked during hypnosis. So stay away from yes and no questions. Pretty much you want to go with like what, how, and where questions. Some common questions that can be asked. What is causing this certain thing to be relevant or repeating in my life? What was my pre-birth plan? like a soul contract? What was I made to become a part of? What does offering my gifts look like? How is what I'm doing bringing light to the world? What have I been carrying that does not belong to me? Why have I been feeling so hurt and angry about blank? What truth do I need to realize and come to? Who are my ancestors? What ways can I be more myself? How do I shift my responses to past trauma? How do I break addictions? What is the root of my health issue, my allergy, my pain? How did I die last? Is a past life affecting how I'm living in my current life? That could be an answer to pain. Which of my chakras need more clearing? Do I have the capability to do this now? How can I create the space for me to clear this? You see what I'm saying? Like, it's really, really genuinely endless. You're just connecting with your higher self. And I'll preface this by saying, like, I'm not prefacing because I've been talking my butt off for a while, but I don't do hypnosis. I'm just extremely, extremely fascinated by it. I've read a few books about it, and one that I would totally recommend to you, I'm not getting paid for this or anything, but it seriously changed my perspective. It's called Journey of Souls by Michael Newton. He has a PhD, and it's basically case studies that he does with multiple different people. Something that's really prevalent in all of his cases is that when people die, they all have very similar experiences, but their beliefs tend to play into what exactly happens as they pass. Like, if they believe in Jesus, they'll see what they believe to be Jesus, and it'll be their spirit guide. But their spirit guide can take the form of whatever would bring them the most comfort. Is that not so beautiful? So when you really think about it, all of these beliefs, these religions that are tearing us apart, it's so much more tragic than we genuinely realize, because they're all there for comfort and love and joy and to feel secure and safe, yet we're just doing really the opposite of that. I hope this can provide you with some motivation to at least maybe start co-creating with your higher self and trying to get in tune with it, and maybe trying meditation or yoga or something out of your comfort zone that you think that you should do to better yourself. Maybe even read a book. See, and I'm always like, well, what if I don't want to read a book? I actually love to read now, but when I read this book, I would not pick up a book. Do an audiobook. Get an audiobook. You could probably even find, well, I won't say that, but you could probably find it somewhere. Dolores Cannon is a very, very brilliant woman. I think you should also look into that if you're interested in what I'm talking about. I'm also going to be talking a lot more about different things related to this, and kind of how extraterrestrials and aliens also play into this, and maybe our past lives even. I hope that you enjoyed this. This is my second YouTube video ever. I know I already said that, but you should totally hit subscribe and like and share this, even if you're feeling very generous. I hope this can provide you some knowledge or interest you.